an adult 3 things. To be happy for no reason, to be always busy with something, and how to demand with all its might what it wants. Happy Children's Day to all of you. As a tribute to our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, every year November 14th is celebrated as Children's Day. Let's begin today's program by invoking the blessings of the Almighty with a prayer song sung by the Little Muses of Nagar, which will be followed by flag hoisting and school anthem.
My
Bhava. I invite my friend Nia Wilfred to welcome all the dignitaries. The children of today will make the India of tomorrow. The way we bring them up will determine the future of the country. Good morning, everyone. Are you all surprised to see me here? Well, this event itself is a surprise to all of us, the students of Christ Nagar. Even in these times of the pandemic, we have come together to celebrate Chacha Nehru's birthday, that is November 14th, Children's Day. I feel extremely privileged to be here to welcome you all to this celebratory event, which unlike the other years is going to be online. The school has facilitated to celebrate this day by arranging for all to see this video, and I feel blessed to address you and welcome you to this event. It's so unlike the events we had in school, but still we could all come together to perform and celebrate Children's Day through this platform. I take the privilege of welcoming our chief guest of the day, Mrs. Susan Matthew, to this event. Welcome, ma'am. I now welcome our beloved manager, Reverend Father Paul Manga, to this event. Welcome, Father. It's my pleasure to welcome our beloved principal, Reverend Dr. Matthew Tengumpalli. Let me welcome our vice principals, Father Tintu Pulinchivalal CMI and Mr. Thomas Mani, sir. Now, I cordially welcome you all to this event and hope you will all enjoy the programs arranged by my friends to entertain you. Thank you. Thank you, Nia. Mrs. Susan Matthew, our guest speaker of the day, is the principal of Friends Play School and Kindergarten and has over 35 years of experience in early learning and child development. A great teacher and motivator, she encourages creativity, builds confidence, and instills focus and enthusiasm in her students. Her philosophy, learning through play, ensures that play is not limited to indoors, but in natural outdoor environment, making learning holistic. Let's listen to her now.
Respected Principal Father Matthew Tengumpalli, Student Prime Minister, other dignitaries, teachers, parents and children who are participating in this virtual celebration of our National Children's Day. Isn't it wonderful that we have one day every year to celebrate children? Though celebrated differently in each country, it is always an occasion to draw the world's attention to how we can promote the welfare of children and to protect their rights. Australia didn't stop at just one day to celebrate children. They declared a whole week. The Philippines a whole month. And in Japan, they celebrated thrice a year. The official motto of the US Children's Day website is "Celebrate wherever you are, do something wonderful," which is a global encouragement for mutual acceptance and kindness. India celebrated Children's Day along with the rest of the world. However, in 1964, we started celebrating Children's Day on the birth anniversary of our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He was known for his affection towards children and he welcomed any reason to meet with them. Children fondly called him Chacha Nehru. He believed education was the path to progress and established some of the greatest educational institutions of independent India. On Bal Divas celebrations, children liked to dress up like he did. He was distinctive in his jacket with a rose in his buttonhole and a topi on his head. These are commonly known facts about him, but did you know that he used to love writing letters to his daughter, Indira Gandhi? This habit started when she was only 10 years old and he had to be away from the family for long periods of time. He covered a wide variety of topics ranging from natural and human history to sciences, geography and languages. I wonder if he were here today, what would he want children to know? We are lucky that he did pen his thoughts to all the children of the world in a letter. He starts by saying how he loves being with children and in their company he forgets how old he is. He remembers being lectured to as a child and not liking it very much, and imagines children to be the same nowadays. It is written in a conversational style, and if you read it, you will feel like you're sitting with your favorite uncle and having a chat with him. I'm going to read a few lines from the letter. What then shall I write about? If you were with me, I would love to talk to you about this beautiful world of ours, about flowers, trees, birds, animals, stars, mountains, glaciers, and all the other beautiful things that surround us. We have all this beauty around us, and yet we who are grown-ups often forget about it and lose ourselves in our arguments and quarrels. I hope you will be more sensible and open your ears and eyes to the beauty of life that surrounds you. You must have read many fairy tales and stories of long ago, but the world itself is the greatest fairy tale and story of adventure that was ever written. Only we must have eyes to see and ears to hear and a mind that opens out to the life and beauty of the world. He encourages children to approach people with an open mind, as that is the only way to build a better India. Pandit Nehru tried to inspire children to do their little bit to help the country to progress and go ahead fast. Can there be a better message for children today than to have open minds to new ideas and places, to appreciate people with different opinions, to work hard and contribute to the progress of your country, to study nature and learn to live in harmony with the universe? It isn't only children who need to be taught, adults too can learn a thing or two. As Paulo Coelho said, a child can always teach an adult three things: to be happy for no reason, to always be busy with something, and to know how to demand with all his might that which he desires. In my years as the principal of Friends Play School and Kindergarten, I know that my young charges have taught me all that. As you grow and get older, don't lose your natural curiosity and exuberance. Stay joyous, stay busy, stay curious, and in this unusual time, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening words. Now, we have our manager, Reverend Father Paul Mangard, CMI, to speak a few words to us.
Good morning. Children are like birds in a garden and should be carefully and lovingly nurtured, as they are the future of the nation and citizens of tomorrow. Reverend Father Dr. Matthew Thingamballi, Principal, Miss Susan Matthew, dear parents, teachers, and my dear students. The above quote is of our beloved Jawaharlal Nehru, whom we lovingly call Chacha Nehru. Children's Day is celebrated across India to increase awareness of rights, care, and education of children. Celebrated on November 14th every year as a tribute to India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. He always paid special attention to the education of children in the country and played a major role in establishment of top academic institutions. After Nehru's demise on 1964, his birthday, November 14th, was declared to be celebrated as Children's Day every year. This day is a reminder for us that every child deserves education, nurturing, and the best of everything. Nehru has left behind a legacy of education for the children of India. Jawaharlal Nehru was well known for his love and care towards children as well as for roses. He was a friend of children and they lovingly called him Chacha Nehru. Let us celebrate the day with happiness and enjoy the gift of childhood. As Chacha said, let us collaborate to perform our responsibility of making beautiful society a better nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. We are extremely privileged today to have a message from our dear principal, Reverend Father Dr. Matthew Tengumpalli.
Hi children, good morning, and I'm very happy to wish all my children a happy Children's Day. Children's Day is celebrated to honor childhood and is celebrated on 14th November in our country. The date which marks the birth anniversary of independent India's first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was born on November 14th. After his death in the year 1963, his birthday has been celebrated as Children's Day all across the country. The reason of celebrating his birthday as Children's Day is because of his love and passion for children. That's the reason he is also known as Chacha Nehru. Apart from being known for his skills as a statesman, Nehru was also immensely fond of children. The more popular and famous of Nehru's picture show him with children. Universally, Children's Day is being celebrated on 20th November every year. But in India, it is celebrated on 14th November because the date marks the birth anniversary of legendary freedom fighter and independent India's first Prime Minister. As a tribute to Nehru and his love for children, Children's Day is celebrated on his birth date. This day reminds to each and every one of us to renew our commitment to the welfare of children and teach them to live by Chacha's quality and dream. It is indeed in childhood that the qualities are manifested and are exhibited in the child's personality. The characteristics of personality can noticed right from the early childhood. Rightly, as Wordsworth has expressed the same views when he says, "Child is the father of man." Childhood is a formative period of a person's life. The habits developed at this time cast a shadow throughout the life. The new education policy, NEP 2020, pays lot of attention to early childhood years. My dear children, on this day, when the nation celebrate Children's Day and we, due to pandemic, celebrate our Children's Day on online, what I wanted to tell my children is, be bold and strong, be happy and fearless, be simple and humble, be kind and gentle, be friendly and generous, be useful and helpful, be obedient and cheerful. Last but not least, be good and do good. wish all of you once again a happy Children's Day. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. As we come to the end of formal function, I invite Madhavanu to propose the vote of thanks. Good morning, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to stand before you to express the words of gratitude. I take this opportunity to thank our respected guest of the day, Mrs. Susan Matthew, for being with us today. Your gentle words are a source of encouragement for all of us. Thank you, ma'am. A word of thanks to our manager, Reverend Father Paul Mangard, CMI, for gracing the occasion. Thank you, Father. I wholeheartedly thank our beloved principal, Reverend Father Dr. Matthew Tengbali, CMI, who always guides and motivates us. Thank you, Father. I extend my sincere gratitude to our vice principals, Reverend Father Tindo Pulinjuwale, CMI, and Thomas Manisa for their constant support. Thank you, Father and Manisa. It is my pleasure to thank our teachers and non-teaching staffs for their hard work and sincerity. Thank you all. I would like to thank our parents and my dear friends for their love and kind cooperation. Last but not the least, I thank the Almighty for making this program a grand success. Once again, I thank you all.
Thank you, Mother. Now we have come to end of our formal function. Now it's time for some splashing fun, cheers and jolly time. Let's welcome the tiny tots of Christ Nagar Kindergarten to take us through the life of Jawaharlal Nehru.
Hi friends, happy Children's Day. In India, we celebrate Children's Day on November 14th as a tribute to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister, formerly known as Chachaji. He was quite popular among children and shared a special bond with them. On this day, schools across the country conduct various events for children to raise awareness about education.
Nehru was born on November 14, 1899 to Swaruprani at Motilal Nehru at Allahabad. His father was his first teacher who taught him the importance of education. Nehru read many books that gave him knowledge about different cultures and people. He went to England at the age of 15 to complete his studies.
Returning from England and joining Indian politics was a turning point in Nehru's life. His leadership quality, which was influenced and guided by Gandhiji, became a key to India's independence. His vision for a better India opened a new door to the progress of our country. Thus, he became the first Prime Minister of independent India.
Jawaharlal Nehru was a man of words. Nehru was not merely a leader of freedom movement and India's first Prime Minister, but also a well-known writer. His books include Glimpses of World History, Discovery of India and an autobiography, as well as collection of essays and thousands of his letters and speeches.
In 1952, Jawaharlal Nehru made a visit to Kerala. He was attracted by the sight of snake boat race, that is our Vallam Kali, that he jumped onto one of the boats himself. Later, he donated a silver trophy in form of snake boat.
as a gift for the memories of the time we spent here. Hence, the race was later named as Nehru Trophy Boat Race. Children's Day is celebrated to commemorate the birth anniversary of our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Nehru was very much fond of children. He advocated children to have compulsory education. He also believed children are the future of our nation. Hence, they should be nurtured and educated well. He once quoted, "The children of today will make the India tomorrow." Jai Hind, happy Children's Day. Thank you.
Chachaji, who was like Rose, loved children a lot. And the children also loved him very much. Now, the little kids with flowers offer a beautiful song to Chachaji.
La 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 la.
declamation.
When you and I are together, you often ask me questions about many things and I try to answer them. Now that you're in Missouri and I am in Allahabad, we cannot have these talks. You might have read a little about English and Indian history, but England is only a small island and India, though a big country, is only a small part of the earth's surface. If we want to know something about the story of this world of ours, we must think of all the countries and all the people that have inhabited it, and not merely of one little country where we may have been born. At this point of time, I am afraid that I can tell only little about this, but that little, I hope, will interest you and make you think of the world as a whole and the people in it as our brothers and sisters. You know that our earth is very, very old, millions of years old. It is difficult to believe the world which is so full today with all kinds of men and kinds of animals to be without them. But if we read books written by scientists and study about rocks and fossils, we can see for ourselves that this must have been so. Apart from books, there are other things in nature that give us a great deal, just as a book would do. You might have seen pebbles on the path. Probably it might have rested on a mountainside. Then the rain came and washed it down and it reached a little river. All the while it rolled over and thus its edges became smooth. Somehow the river stopped carrying it further. If the river had carried it further, it might have become a grain of sand and people would have made sand castles with it. If a little pebble can tell you so much, how much can we learn from all the mountains and rocks and other things in nature around us? So, my dear children, you should do your best to conserve the resources of our nature like soil, water, forest, wildlife and more. When we are healing our Mother Nature, we are actually healing ourselves. Jai Hind.
Now we have a melodious song by our KG kids dedicated to Chacha Nehru.
La
something that everyone feels and enjoys. The next item is the tiny steps of our little ones to celebrate the day.
3, 2, 1.
सूरज जैसे चमकेंगे देखे है साडी अखियां ने ए सपने अंबरां दे ए सपने अंबरां दे बूंद बूंद जोड़ेंगे पल पल दूर दूर बह जाएंगे फिर ना समंदरा दे फिर ना समंदरा दे we have a show by our KG kids.
Hey, 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 hey. Inna minna tika, ikatu mashoka, kutti pony tail, cuta kail maadegita.
Nilavode morning walk, kiya muya taka, chumma inky pinky ponky potu.
आजा आजा जिंद शामी आने के तले आजा जरी वाले नीले आसमाने के तले जय हो जय हो आजा आजा जिंद शामी आने के तले आजा जरी वाले नीले आसमाने के तले जय हो
Now, my friends will take you to have a glimpse on the life history of Nagar.
Good morning, dear children. Today is a special day, particularly for children. Can you guess why? Teacher, it's November 14. It's Children's Day, teacher. That's why we are all wearing colored dress. Yes, November 14, Children's Day. Then what more? Don't know, teacher. It's Jawaharlal Nehru's birthday. Chachaji, right, teacher? Yes, correct. So, let's celebrate Chachaji's birthday.
minds 'twas Chacha's birthday, you will find. He loved children with all his heart. From them he never liked to part. Color festoons everywhere, people showing how much they care. Shaking hands and smiling, two good wishes all to you and you. Color festoons everywhere, people showing how much they care. Shaking hands and smiling, two good wishes all to you and you. Colored festoons everywhere, people showing how much they care. Shaking hands and smiling, two good wishes all to you and you. Colored festoons everywhere, people showing how much they care. Shaking hands and smiling, two good wishes all to you and you. We think of Chacha on this day, his love for us will always stay. This day is just the day for us as we celebrate our Children's Day. Color festoons everywhere, people showing how much they care. Shaking hands and smiling, two good wishes all to you and you. Bringing past back to our minds, 'twas Chacha's birthday, you will find. He loved children with all his heart. From them he never liked to part. Color festoons everywhere, people showing how much they care. Shaking hands and smiling, two good wishes all to you and you. Color festoons everywhere, people showing how much they care. Shaking hands and smiling, two good wishes all to you and you.
Teacher, can you please tell us more about Chacha ji?
Of course, Jawaharlal Nehru was born on 14 November 1889. We are celebrating his birthday as Children's Day as he was very fond of children. Nehru was born in a Kashmiri Pandit family in Allahabad as the son of Motilal Nehru and Swaroop Rani. He was enrolled in St. Mary's School in Allahabad. Later, he was tutored at home by Ferdinand D. Brooks. The Irish teacher led him to the world of books and scientific temper. Nehru went to England for higher studies in 1905. He was just 16 years old. He later earned an honours degree from the Trinity College in Cambridge and a barrister degree from the Inner Temple in London. Nehru excelled in general knowledge, science and reading habits. After 7 years in London, he returned home in 1912. He married Kamla Kaur in 1960. In 1970, his daughter Indira Priyadarshini was born. Nehru was attracted to the Indian National Congress, particularly impressed by the activities of Gopalakrishna Gokhale and Annie Besant. He was elected the president of Indian National Congress and
join us with faith and confidence in this great adventure. This is no time for petty and destructive criticism, no time for ill will or blaming others. We have to build the noble mansion of free India. This is the famous quote by Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru was one among the few freedom fighters of India who sacrificed his life for the cause of the motherland. Nehruji had a prominent place in freedom struggle. He redefined the concept of Swaraj into terms of complete independence. He was not only a freedom fighter but also the maker of modern India. He had laid the foundation of democracy, secularism, planning and socialism. All these qualities tell us what a great man our Chacha Nehru was. Happy Children's Day to all. Thank you.
As he fought for our freedom, he was put in jail. From the prison, he wrote many letters to his daughter Indira. All those letters had been published as a book called Letters from a Father to His Daughter. Nehru's Twist of Destiny speech at the stroke of midnight on 14 August 1947 went on to become one of the most memorable speeches in the world history.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny. And now, the time comes when we should redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. The ambition of the greatest man of our generation has been to wipe every tear from every eye. That may be beyond us, but so long as there are tears and suffering, so long our work will not be over. Peace has been said to be indivisible. So is freedom. So is prosperity now. And so also is disaster. In this one world that can no longer be split into isolated fragments. To the people of India, whose representatives we are, we make appeal to join us with faith and confidence in this great adventure. This is no time for petty and destructive criticism, no time for ill will or blaming others. We have to build the noble mansion of free India, where all our children may dwell. Jai Hind!
Nehru became the first elected Prime Minister of free India. He served as Prime Minister for 17 years. He also holds the record as the longest serving Prime Minister. India's most science and technology institute started under Nehru's watch. Nehru took the initiative to develop a comprehensive education policy for children.
ദീർഘവീക്ഷണത്തിന്റെ അഗ്നികയിൽ കാലം കരുതി വച്ച വജ്രമാണ് ജവഹർലാൽ നെഹ്റു, നമ്മുടെ ചാച്ചാജി. ബ്രിട്ടീഷ് സാമ്രാജ്യം ഇന്ത്യൻ മണ്ണിൽ നിന്ന് വിട പറഞ്ഞതിനു ശേഷം സുസ്ഥിര ഭരണത്തിന്റെയും വികസന കുതിപ്പിന്റെയും പുതിയ ലോകം ഭാരത മണ്ണിൽ പ്രതിഷ്ഠിച്ച കർമ്മധീരനാണ് നെഹ്റു. രാജ്യത്തിന്റെ സാമൂഹിക, സാമ്പത്തിക, വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ, ശാസ്ത്ര വികസനങ്ങൾക്ക് വിപ്ലവകരമായ മുന്നേറ്റം ഉറപ്പാക്കിയത് നെഹ്റുവിന്റെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ നടപ്പിലാക്കിയ പഞ്ചവത്സര പദ്ധതിയിലൂടെയാണ്. സ്പേസ് റിസർച്ചിലൂടെയും ആറ്റമിക് എനർജി കമ്മീഷൻ സ്ഥാപിച്ചും IIT-കൾ സ്ഥാപിച്ചും ഇന്ത്യയുടെ ശാസ്ത്ര വികസനത്തിന് നെഹ്റു ചുക്കാൻ പിടിച്ചു. ആ ചാച്ചാച്ചിയുടെ സ്നേഹസ്മരണയ്ക്ക് മുമ്പിൽ ഈ കുരുന്ന ഹൃദയങ്ങളോടെ പ്രണാമം. month, I went back to Kashmir after an absence of 23 years. I was only there for 12 days, but those were filled with beauty, and I drank in the loveliness of that land of enchantment. I wandered about the valley and climbed the glacier and felt that life was worthwhile. These words were written by Jawaharlal Nehru in 1940 in the midst of political struggles and prison sentences. The Nehru I know was not merely a leader of freedom movement and India's first prime minister, but also an accomplished writer. His books include glimpses of world history, discovery of India, and an autobiography, as well as collections of essays and of thousands of his own letters and speeches. His style is graphic, fluent, and compelling. Nehru's historical perspective, wide knowledge, philosophical approach, and subtle wit make whatever he has written worth reading even today. Thank you.
On May 27, 1964, Jawaharlal Nehru passed away. He worked for the development of our country until he died.
पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू राष्ट्र निर्माता के साथ युगदृष्टा भी थे। उन्होंने देश से बाहर अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर भारत की पताका फहराने में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका अदा की। पंचशील सिद्धांतों को लागू करवाकर विश्व के देशों में शांति और सद्भावना स्थापित करने में उनका अपूर्व योगदान था। नेहरू जी राजनीतिक, सामाजिक एवं आर्थिक चिंतक होने के अतिरिक्त एक उच्च कोटि के लेखक भी थे। पंडित नेहरू बच्चों के प्रिय चाचा होने के साथ साथ एक सफल राजनीतिक, अर्थशास्त्री, चिंतक, साहित्यकार थे।
That was Chachaji's inspiring life. Now, let's hear the words of Indira Gandhi, beloved daughter of our Chachaji, about her dear father.
Good morning to all. I am Indira Gandhi. On the occasion of my father Jawaharlal Nehru's birthday, would like to say a few words about him. As you are aware that my father is the first Prime Minister of India. If I were to describe my father, I would say that he was humanity in human being. He looked at all problems and was deeply interested in solving the problems that has to do with men, women and children. He always saw them in a bigger context. He was educated in the West and was deeply interested by the Western culture and ideas. He was a very sensitive person, more like a poet than a politician. He loved our country and very fond of children. My father is known as Chacha Nehru among kids. His birthday is also celebrated as Children's Day. Thank you. Bye.
Even today, people